Welcome back. Today we're kicking off a new series on building metabolic fitness, and I'm really excited to bring this to you. Improving my metabolic fitness is the number one thing I've managed to do since I rolled through 45, coming up on 10 years ago. And it's really changed my life. It's enabled me to get back out to doing what I love with friends and family, big days outside. And it's improved my health in ways that aren't visible in a medical office. And so that's what I want to start with, is the difference between health and metabolic fitness. So you go to your doctor's office. Behind me here is my blood work that I did in June of 2022. I was getting off a round of COVID. I had recovered from it, and I wanted to get a green light to get back to training. And this is at the start of my return to structured training. And the test came back, my physical came back, great. I had a few things that were a little high, a little bit outside the normal range, but my doctor said, given my athletic background, it wasn't anything to worry about. A1C was slightly high. Fasted glucose was slightly high, but he felt that might have been influenced by a rather large dinner I'd had the night before. And there were a few other things in there, but all in all, I was looking good. What my doctor wasn't able to see and wasn't able to test with the conventional tests was my mitochondrial function, how efficient my mitochondria were with converting basically food to velocity. That doesn't turn up in doctor's office. You need to do some lactate testing to see that. And that is what I did. So August, after I was cleared to return to training, I did my first progressive lactate test on the bike. And I'm just going to chat you through what's going on here. You'll find another video on my YouTube channel that explains the protocol I use. And if you sort my videos based on popularity, it's going to come up at the top of the list. So August 10th, 2022, my baseline was 1.3 millimoles. And then I start exercising, put the keys in the ignition, start the engine, and I just ease into the test. And as soon as I ease into the test, even though my heart rate's down at 107, my lactate starts ticking up. My body, specifically my mitochondria, are not well trained, and they're not good at converting that, pulling that lactate out of the bloodstream and converting it to energy and doing work with it. So as a result, my lactate's going up, and my feeling is going up as well. And relatively early at a moderate sort of heart rate, like in the about 130 or so, I'm like, wow, this really feels like I'm doing quite a bit of work. And by the time I got to the end of that, getting close to about 140 beats a minute, I was like, wow, this feels like a really solid effort. And that was it. I shut the test down. And what I quickly realized was I was untrained specifically my mitochondria were untrained. And this was a big surprise to me. I was a health and fitness exerciser. I thought I was doing moderate training. A lot of my work was under 130 beats per minute, and my max is 166. So I'm more than 30 beats below my max heart rate. It didn't feel hard, but as you can see in this test, that lactate level for me corresponded to a 2.5 to 3 millimole lactate level, which is a tempo. The internal stress of that is doing tempo, regardless of how it felt to me. And where I would see the impact of this tempo was not necessarily how I felt while I was training, but I would see it after training. I was depleted, I was tired, I was really hungry. And if I tried to do anything that was really long, it would kick my butt for days. So What I do about it? Well, we're going to get into that in part 2 when we talk about addressing this limiter in your own training. Thanks for listening.